See, they're so cruel here. They get you in the middle of the night where they know my past and they know whatever you are, and they tip from upstairs, the water comes down, it's mixed between urine, and they pour it down from the side of the wall and it comes flooding in. You can see the marks here. And mixed with water and urine, it makes the whole place smell. You know, and I have to scrub out every night practically because of this. I lose something like 2 hours sleep because I scrub the floor just to get the smell away from the outside, you know, and it's really terrible, you know, it's how cruel it is in prison.
The tragic increase of young offenders in our society is nowhere more apparent than in a giant local prison like Strangeways. Here, up to 500 are held in what is virtually a prison within a prison. It is known as the BAC, the Borstal Allocation Centre.
Swap out. Swap out. Swap out.
With its cells, recesses and landings, with its security and discipline, with its regulation clothing, the BAC is in every respect a jail. The only concession made to these young inmates is that they are physically separated from the adult prison and that contact with adult prisoners is kept to a minimum. Among the young offenders are YPs, young prisoners. They are aged usually between 18 and 21. Every year, over 1,000 of them will serve their time here in Strangeways. But for the majority of these young men, it is their first taste of prison, for they await their allocation to a Borstal. Over 4,000 Borstal Boys a year will pass through this Victorian jail, some of them as young as 14 years of age. A recent report by a group of MPs from all parties has suggested that the placing of such young people in a prison is nothing short of a scandal. This boy is 16 years old.
We don't ask a lot of you while we're here. We expect you to keep yourself clean and keep yourself clean. If you've any problems whatsoever, especially you two lads that haven't been in prison before, come and see a member of staff. These other cons will take great delight in sending you the wrong way. You're all doing sentences of 18 months and under. It's highly unlikely that you'll be moved from this prison. You go to serve most of your sentence, if not all of your sentence, here at Manchester. 17-year-old, you've been to approved school, and you've been to Borstal, and now you're doing a pretty long sentence of 18 months imprisonment. You went to Hindley on your first sentence, did you, your Borstal sentence? What did you go to Borstal for?
Aggravated burglary, sir.
Aggravated burglary, and what did you do?
Well, I went into this house, right, and there was a woman sleeping, but I didn't know it was a woman until I told her. And you know, she woke up and it did disturb me, so I got a bottle from the side there and put it over her head.
And you got Borstal. How old were you?
Just turned 16, sir.
Well, I reckon if you'd have been in front of the courts now at 17, you'd have got at least 3 years YP. You were very lucky, lad. You're lucky you didn't get charged with robbery there, aren't you? You realise how serious that offence was?
Well, I didn't realise until I was in Hindley and the officers there told me what it was like.
What about your approved school? You absconded 7 times. Why?
Well, I just didn't like the system there, you know. And it was, you know, in the countryside, and I just wanted to go back to Manchester.
Well, you got to try to abscond from here.
Well, the walls are too high, aren't they?
But you would otherwise. You would try
I'd have
to
a
get
go.
away, yeah? If you were at Borstal now, would you try and run away?
Well, I couldn't, but if I had a chance, I would.
You would go, yeah? Great. So your dad's disowned you, you find yourself in prison. What about your future?
Well, I've not thought of it yet, sir.
You've got 12 months imprisonment to think about, haven't you? Now you got to get yourself a job, or you got to settle down, or you got to spend the rest of your life coming in prison. You're only 17. 17-year-old, and for the last 2 years, well, in fact, the last 2 years and the next 12 months, you've got to find yourself locked up. Do you not bother about your freedom? Does it not bother you?
It didn't bother me at all, sir.
Doesn't bother you at all, so you're quite prepared to spend the rest of your life in prison.
Well, I've been in homes, and when I was about 8 and a half, I got put in homes, and special schools and maladjusted homes and places like that.
So because you've been in homes for all that time, you're trying to tell me you can't survive outside then?
Well, I can, yeah, but there's no point in me doing it because I'll start nicking again, doing jobs and things like that. So.
Well, I can't understand this. You're saying you can survive, yet you're quite prepared to carry on stealing things and come back in prison for the rest of your life.
I'm not really bothered,
Well, you're not mental or anything like that, are you? You're all right in your head, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I just can't understand that. You're not just using that as an excuse here for this present sentence. Well, what can I say? Eh?
Frank Way, the assistant governor in charge of the BAC, starts his daily round. He begins in the workshops. There are 2 in which electrical equipment is made. More often than not, these workshops are closed through lack of prison officers to supervise them.
Morning, take it all right.
34, sir.
34. Morning. Jethro, how many did we start with?
We started with 35, so 1 John's classes.
If there is no work, these young prisoners will stay in their cells for up to 23 hours a day, for no association period where they can mix freely amongst themselves is allowed.
Thank you.
Morning.
As in the main prison, all letters to fathers, mothers, wives and girlfriends are subject to the scrutiny of the censor.
Busy days. Did everyone come in and why not?
Gone out. Morning, Mr. Turner.
Well, that's a drawing on it.
It is, yeah. He's going to get it.
See, advising, yeah.
Send it out, but I'll call him up and tell him about it.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Right, sir.
If a young offender is caught shouting at night, fighting, being abusive to an officer, or breaking any one of a number of prison rules, he can find himself placed in the BAC's punishment block.
What are those black thumbprints doing in your bowl? Your boot polish. Now get it subbed off. You've got a dirty line in your jug. Get that cleaned out as well. That cup's filthy. If I see a dirty cup down here tomorrow, no doubt you'll be on report. You understand? You'll spend a lot longer down here. Wicked idea. What's wrong with him, Mr. Klein?
He came down yesterday, sir. He was on rules before that.
Yeah, well, he's had a whole day to get his kit sorted out.
He's now wishing to come off rules.
On his shoes. I want his shoes polishing.
Sir.
What's he come off for? Rule 43.
43, sir.
It's about time he came off Rule 43. Well, when you come out of here, I'll take you off. Not before, all right? Good kit this morning. How long have you been down here now? 22 days. When are you going off? Thursday. Well, let's hope then that you don't get into any further trouble. Right? And you'll tell your mates up on the wing what it's like down here, and then they won't come. Right.
Whether he is a Borstal boy or a young prisoner, whether he is 15 or 21, he will find himself during the day alone in a cell with just a table and chair and some library books. He will be subject to strict prison rules and will spend an average of 7 to 14 days and nights on punishment.
When you do that job, I want the job doing properly. You've got brushes out of line there. It's simple. Can you see the lines of these tiles? Well, you follow the lines of the tiles and build up from that point.
The round finished, there is the daily allocation of boys to different Borstals in the north. The prison hopes that it will take fewer than 10 days to transfer each boy. In fact, it can be much longer, mainly because of the queue for places.
Let's see. Have you any offences involving sex? Arson? Any other violence? Well, look, you're 20 years of age, it's your first time inside. I'm going to take a chance with you because you were out on bail and you didn't break the conditions. But for goodness sake, leave motorbikes alone in the future. I'll send you to an open Borstal. Right? I'll send you to a Borstal where there are some older lads, where you might get a good job, and where you should do quite well there. I'll send you to Hatfield. What do you get Borstal for? What was the malicious damage then?
Pardon, sir?
What was the malicious damage?
Nothing, sir.
You got away with that, did you?
Sir.
What did you do?
Just broke into a pub, sir.
I see. Now, you committed arson once, and you did 24 hours at the attendance centre.
Yes, sir.
Well, because of that, I'm going to have to send you to a closed Borstal.
Yes, sir.
Right, so you're, what, 18 years of age? I'll send you to Everthorpe. You should get visits there, all right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going. See, now you got Borstal, 24th of January. What for?
Shoplifting, sir.
I see. Now, first time inside, is it?
Yes, sir.
What's the assault then in the past?
I got £100 fine for it, sir.
And what, tell me about the assault.
I got arrested for drunken disorder. Got into some police cells and started fighting in the police cells.
Now, we understand also that you were in possession of an offensive weapon and that you had 6 months imprisonment suspended. Well, because of that, I'm going to send you to a closed Borstal. 20 years of age. I say, you've got to question, what sort of society is producing young lads like this, really, who are drifting through society and perhaps becoming far more violent these days. And you've got to trace it back to the parents, the environment, the education, the lack of opportunities in their environment, and the lack of opportunity for them to get out of the rut and go and live somewhere else in the country and develop a different lifestyle. They're not able to do this, many of them. And so perhaps, they end up in prison. And it's our task to put right, perhaps in 6 months, what's been going on for 15 or 20, 30 years. How is it possible?
You're here this afternoon for 2 reasons. First of all, so we can find out something about your educational background, and also to tell you about classes which are available to you whilst you're here. You can choose classes each morning, and there are various classes. There's maths, English, general studies, art and drama, and each morning you rotate. If you're here for long enough, you might be able to take the NORAC examinations in general oral communications, which is coursework and examination work, or even the RSA examination in English and maths. And perhaps if you're here for long enough and the right sort of standard, you might even be able to take O-level in English and maths. Pay on classes starts at 90p a week, which is about the same as the workshops, and can go up 3p a week if you work hard. And some people on classes now earn £1.16, which is quite good wages. But it can also decrease, but this doesn't happen very often.
Now, this is all about the man who won the pools last week, which you all know about, don't you? Do you know how much he won altogether?
1 million.
It wasn't $1 million, no.
No.
Well, it worked out a bit less than that. It was about 800.
There are daytime classes for drama, sport, vocational training, and remedial English like this one, for illiteracy is a major problem. Some of the boys even have to cope with physical handicaps. Mike, for example, is a spastic.
Yes, now just read the headlines out to me now.
1 million pool jackpot.
And the other little bit underneath.
Where about?
Just underneath.
Yeah.
Aye. Another little bit there, yes.
I like that. I don't drink, but I love a gamble.
That sounds like you, doesn't it?
David and his 45-year-old wife, Jean, an office cleaner, fled from their terraced house in...
The average reading age of these young prisoners is 12. The average maths age is 9.
The big double. Earlier, he confided, I don't drink much and I don't smoke, but I've always been a gambler.
He spent some of that renovating his house in Forest Road and bought Jane a car. He does not drive himself, and his hobby is watching sport on television.
David is not the sort to squander money, says his uncle, Mr. Albert Preston. He lives a very simple life. Last night...
There is a constant threat of action by prison officers to stop these daytime classes in the prison. They resent even minimal facilities being given to these young offenders when their own children face cuts in education.
Thank you, Ken. That was very good.
Good evening. Education Department here. Can you tell me, please, if any...
Evening classes have already been stopped, but the part-time teachers have come in to discover the fate of their jobs.
Right, the position is then that there are no classes this evening in either the Borstal or the main prison again. The position further to that is that we have been in consultation with the Home Office, Department P2 in London, with the Governor and with the Education Committee. At the moment, I can tell you that you are not going to be given a week's notice. The position is that the Governor wants to keep all classes, or all provision for classes, as it stands at the moment. That is, that we lay on the unlocking lists, we lay on the facilities, we lay on the teachers. This means, therefore, that teachers will need to come in as usual, really until further notice. The Home Office is quite happy to put up the funds to keep paying you every week. The Education Committee are quite happy at the moment for you to continue to come in every week. And so all I can say to you is, first of all, thank you very much for coming yet again. And secondly, please will you come back next week and in the following weeks.
Have you ever been in before for any misdemeanor?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
May I ask the nature of the offence?
Well, it was burglary I've been arrested for.
Yes. Yes.
I did have possession of drugs charges a couple of times.
Yes.
It was only
What-
smoking it.
Yes. Can I put a question to you? Do you feel that this is wrong?
What I'm doing is...
Yeah, before I put over the Jewish angle. Yes. Well, how did you get involved in it? I mean, if you knew that this was morally wrong to steal from someone because it's against the religion, it's against principles, I mean, even people who are not particularly religious would have a strong sense of morals and ethics to realize that it's wrong to take something which isn't yours. Yes? I mean, do you not feel that does your conscience not prick you at all? Yeah? Well, what was it that caused you? Were you forced into, coerced into it? Or did you meet up with the wrong people? Because you don't look, honestly, to be quite honest with you, you say don't judge a book by the cover. Well, you seem to be a rational fellow, well-spoken fellow. I couldn't imagine you taking something from my pocket while my back was turned.
I've found that it's happened sort of, you know, like I had no money and I've been desperate to get money and things like that.
Well, I want to assure you there is absolutely, in this 20th century, sophisticated society in which we are living in which there's a lot of tolerance, and some people are critical. Maybe some people would be critical of me being as tolerant as I am to you and simply say, now, look, this is wrong. I'm not going to have this anymore. And something like to that effect. Well, can I simply say this? What would annoy me, and I want you to understand this, I'm making this quite clear, what would upset me if, as a result of my visits to you, that I ever came back in the course of my ministrations to Strangeways, and one day this cell door was open or another cell door and I found you there, because that I would find unforgivable. I want to be rendered unemployed. I hope the day will come when the government will say, Rabbi, not one Jew in Strangeways. And then I'll know that my message has got to come home. It's not just simply good enough for me to come to have this chat and say, oh, you're a nice fella, look after me and be a friend. I have to tell you quite openly, what you have done is wrong. You've got to know it's wrong, and you've got to be determined never to do it again. And then when we can get you to think like that, you're not doing me a favor. Who are you doing a favor?
No, myself.
Yes, you should start a new life, get married, and bring children to the world.
Let the Holy Spirit guide me for whatever happens in my life and the lives of family and friends. Oh Lord, help me to bear truthful and honest witness today. Lord, I ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Saviour. Amen.
Roy has had a religious conversion in prison. He believes Christianity is the answer to all his problems. He is isolated for his own protection from other young prisoners for refusing homosexual advances.
I accepted Christ about nearly 4 weeks when I came in here, but I didn't know him. I didn't know him spiritually. I was just like everybody else, going to the communion just to get out my cell. But then it came to me because I knew I wanted to be loved, and I got down on my knees and I says, if you are there, then come into my life so I can love you, so I can love someone, because I want to love someone. I've always been rejected. I've never been wanted. And that's why I made myself a female, because I wanted someone that I can love. A girl, I suppose, a gentleness of a girl I wanted to love. Will you be gentle to me? And he says, I will be gentle to you. I'll come into your life. If you come to me and say, will you be my Lord? And I said, yes. And he came into my life and he changed me. He took away my feelings of wanting to be a woman. He says, you, what I have created, you're a man. You don't have to be and act like a man in everybody else's eyes. You don't have to be hard. You don't have to be masculine to a point where you're knocking people about, because that's what all men do. You got to be what I make you and what you want to be. You know, and that's what the Lord has shown me. He's come into my life and he's shown me love, and he's shown me that he does care, and he's shown me the love I've missed all my life.
Did it happen on a particular night or occasion?
It was about a week before I had met the Holy Spirit physically and spiritually. I told my mother I wanted to be a female and I was going through the operation. She rejected me. She says, I don't want you back. You're going to come out of prison, you've got to collect your female clothes and you go off to wherever you want. And then I broke down in the visiting room and I came back. And I said to the Lord, well, it's come up to a point now, Lord, where, you know, I'm just exactly what I am. Even though I accepted you, I'm exactly what I am. I'm a transsexual, I just want to be a woman, I want to be loved. And I got down on my knees and said, Lord, if you want to love me, come into my life and change me. Take away these feelings I have to prove to me that you are real. And if you take away these feelings, then I'll really love you. And he took away my feelings.
We learnt that within 3 months of release, Roy was back inside for non-payment of fines. What does the future hold for Strangeways' youngest inmates, especially as in this case, where all 3 young prisoners are brothers? Harry, the eldest at 21, has already been to all the institutions available and is now back serving a sentence for burglary. Nigel, at 18, has already been to detention centre and Borstal, and is now doing 2 years as a young prisoner for robbery and wounding with intent. Chris is only 16, but is already following in his brother's footsteps with his current conviction for stealing cars. He has allowed this last meeting with his brothers as he is due to begin his first sentence as a Borstal boy.
But like you said to me, you're not going to get Borstal, you said.
Okay, I said I won't go get Borstal. I'm big-headed, right?
You said you won't go back inside again, but you did. I said you will. I said you'll be in Borstal, you in a couple of months.
Well, everybody
says
they're not going back. Right, nicking cars, getting away with it for a long time. But then I got caught. Well, with other people, of course. But
all right, you say he'll be back. Will you be back?
I'll be back, yeah. I think I will be. That's if I take the same
are you
road
bothered?
again. Yeah, I'm bothered, but how can you change yourself
Well,
when you started off thieving there? How can you?
Of course you can change yourself.
You know what they said, what you once a thief, you're always a thief.
So you're already thinking about getting in trouble when you've got 9 months to do in Borstal? And that's before you get out?
No, but, when you've been out a year, if someone come up to you and says, right, I know this house where there's good money in it, you're not going to do it. If you're skint, you've got no... Yeah, okay, you need some clothes, right? You've not got a job. My mum's not going to buy your clothes, is she?
I don't know.
My mum's not going to look after you with your clothes. She put you up in a
Well, I
nice
could
house,
get a
that's good
job.
enough. Yeah, but say, you don't have a job, right? You need money, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
what
it's
you
up
going
to
to
me.
do?
Anyone can get a job if they want one.
Yeah, and
It's
look at
if
that
you
job
want
what you
one.
had last time. Right?
It's if you want one.
3 days.
Well, it don't matter. I mean, look at getting paid 17 quid a week. You were just slave labour, wasn't it, a bit?
It were, yeah.
You pack a job in if
You
you
gotta
don't
face
like
it, right?
a job, don't you? You don't keep it.
Not
if
many
you don't
people.
like
No
it.
one likes work, but you just got to work. You've got to
You've
go
gotta
through
do
it. You've got to have the willpower to go through.
Yeah,
but
well,
not
then-
many. But people like us don't have it,
Well, if you want to work, you can work.
But I don't think none of us are the terms.
You're only going off that though, what the job centre say and all that. That ain't true though, because he said to me at an interview, send him down for an interview, we'll give him a chance. I went down for an interview and they said, I've got someone.
Well, they always say that. There's loads of them. These
Well
are-
then, they said on phone to job centre, they'll give you, we always give them a chance to see if they'll go straight, but they don't.
Apologies.
Shall we do the rounds?
If you're ready? We're ready, yes. I'll get rid of that. Come off. Have we got anything on this morning?
Not a lot, sir. Just the usual.
The daily round of the senior medical officer. All too often there appears a Borstal boy or young prisoner for whom suicide offered the only means of escape from his problems and from Strangeways.
Morning. How are you this morning? Keep the tackle around you. How are you this morning? What are you doing in here?
Attempted suicide yesterday.
What did you actually do? And the other one? What did you do with it?
That's
Where did you get the glass? You did a few other things with the glass as well, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you do?
So I just kept it in the hand.
Yes, but you did something with it, didn't you? Apart from your wrist. Well, I was given to understand you made certain threats to the
Yes,
officers.
sir. I just told him to keep away, sir.
You must have waved it at them a bit. Did you not?
No, sir.
Anyway, you're feeling a bit better this morning, are you? You got it out of your system?
Yes, sir.
Good. You're not prone to do this, are you?
Yes, sir.
You are? Yes. Morning. Okay. You're the terror of Salford, aren't you? According to the local authority. Is that right?
How come that you have got that reputation?
And also being in homes.
Yeah.
Absconding from homes.
You like running away, do you? Or you don't like stopping? Because, I mean, you're what? You're 16 now. And certainly you're doing it the hard way, aren't you, really, at your age? What's all this wrist business too? Your wrist, right. When did you do that?
So I've never done that one, it's just another
Just that one?
So,
When did you do that one?
so in the police cell.
And they tell me that you did tried to do something at Risley too.
So,
What did you do there?
just trying to hang myself there. So
What was that for?
just didn't like the place.
Well, you were giving it a bad reputation, weren't you? I mean, that's no way to cure things, is it? You look like a lively lad to me, not one that would want to do yourself in. You're not serious, are you?
Don't know, sir.
Well, it's about time you did. You're 16, you're growing up, aren't you? Start acting like it, instead of like a kid. People will treat you like a man if you behave like one. That's what you want, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, you've got a sentence to get on with now, haven't you? You're going to get on with it. Good. Okay.
I'm 15 and I got put in care at a local authority till I was 18. And then I went to a place, Wood End Assessment Centre, for 3 weeks. And after the 3 weeks, I went back to the courts. And the court sentenced me, put me in care for 5 years till I was 18. And I went back to Wood End Assessment until I went to a home which I was in before I come here, Mobley Boys School. It's in Cheshire. And I went there, I think it was on the Friday. I stayed there about a week and then I absconded from there. When I got home, I went straight to our house, got a new set of clothing off my mum and sat down watching telly. And about an hour after, the police come and they searched the house and I was up in the rafters. And they never found me because I used to shoot right up there, right the way along and hide in a little hole. And after they'd gone, my dad would throw a stone on the roof or shout a dog, and then he used to come down, drop down, go down the stairs and have a wash, sit down, have a smoke and watch the telly. But,
How long did you?
well, I was on the run for nearly 2 years old, nearly 2 years. Spent most of that time in our house. Spent about 21 months in our house altogether. Police used to come and never found me.
Your dad was he charged, was he, or was he
No.
suspected?
He was arrested for the murder of me because he thought I was dead. No, not seeing me for all that long. And he was arrested again for stolen TVs, but he wasn't stolen. No, they had to bring him back themselves. And everyone was laughing because the cops had to bring him back. And then one day I went out with my dad. You know, uptown. I was going under the arches and I got chased there by one of the coppers in Park Lane. I think it was Ken Roberts. And then I ran and I got away from him. So me and my dad just split from there. And I went back to our house. Cops were there waiting for me. Then I went out with my mate John Higgins. We went up near Albert Park and we was walking up there. John says there's a panda car there. So why else is there? So I ran from the panda car and this copper ran out running after me and he caught me. It was Ken Roberts. And the Black Mariah come, took me to the Park Lane and I got sentenced to a 3-month detention centre from the courts. And after I come out of there, I went back to Mobley, absconded, and I was on the run again for about 3 months It was this time. When I got caught, got sentenced to Risley Remand Centre. And then after 3 weeks there, I went to Bexley Square Court. But when I was in Risley, I tried to hang myself in the cell, but that didn't work. So then I went to the Crescent. I'm in the courts, and they sentenced me back to Risley. And when I was in the cell, I ripped a piece of steel off the air ventilation and I slashed my wrists. And the coppers come in and then took me to the hospital. Straight from there, come straight to Strangeways and allocated for my Borstal there now, waiting for Borstal.
What's it been like for you being in a prison for the first time? When you're 15 years old and you're in prison?
Yeah, well, it's been horrible really. But I'm in the hospital wing and it's all right up there, it's better in the cells.
What's going to happen to you?
Well, I'm going to Borstal. I'd either do 6 months to 2 years in the Borstal. And then when I come out of Borstal, I'm just going to find a job, find a room, because I'm not going back to my parents when I get out. Because if I go back there, I'll only have more trouble on my back with my mum and dad. And see, the other kids are going to start getting put in homes themselves now. Like 2 twins, they're going to get put in homes. And them 2 will abscond themselves. So I'm not going home when I get out.
Well, I think you've got to think about success rates. It costs about £5,000 to keep a man in prison for a year, or a boy in prison for a year. And when the Borstal success rate, or young prison success rate, perhaps is about 20 or 25%, which really means that 75% of them are going to come back inside the system again. You've got to question, is it worth the money? What are we doing to sort of, what are we doing?